Hi, my name's Christian from Lindforce Farms. I'm going to talk all about seed starting today. So over here is where we do all of our seed starting, and we do them on a baker's rack. We're using a 1020 tray, which is kind of a standard urban farming and farming implement, and that's these trays right here. You can find those online at bootstrapfarmer.com, or there's a whole bunch of other places where you can buy them. So the first thing I like to talk about is what types of trays we use, and we buy the extra sturdy trays. That's just kind of trial and error. We've bought flimsy ones from Home Depot before, and we found that spending a few extra dollars on the trays will last us a few years. So we're using these really sturdy trays. I can hold it out like this. It's not going to break. This can be filled with water and heavy, and there's no worry of it breaking. So what we've done here is we've labeled everything, and we've kept it really organized. Basically everything that's coming off of here right now is for our CSA. So this is a week's worth of our CSA, and we're using a 72 cell tray, which just means that there's 72 plugs in here. Everything that we've got going in this tray has kind of got a similar days to maturity, meaning that when we can put this crop in the ground and it's all going to come out for the same week. We've also got some things that have already been started for about 4 weeks that are going to be about 4 weeks later in maturity. So we've gotten them already head start on those, so that they'll be coming out the same week. So next I'm going to show you how we actually seed our trays, why we do it the way we do it, what type of soil we use, and talk about why we use vermiculite. So we get our trays, we get our 72 trays, and we put it in one of these hard reservoir trays. What the reservoir does is it gives us stability on our actual tray, so that when we're holding it, it's not going to fall over, crack, bend, because the 72 trays are pretty flimsy. We're looking for a better product, but there haven't seen a lot of good products on the market as far as the actual cell trays. That might be something someone would be interested in making. And then we use this Sunshine 4 mix aggregate that we get at Home Depot, and I'm pretty sure that's across the board. You can get that or something pretty similar. This has got mycorrhizal fungi in there, so it's going to promote root growth. So we really like this soil, but it's good to note that it dries out pretty quick. And we like that because it prevents a lot of mold from forming and establishing itself, but also the watering requirements are a lot heavier. So once we've got our, I'll show you over here. Once we've got our soil in, we drop our seeds in, and we seed our seeds very dense because we can go back through and thin later. So if you look at these trays here, you can see that they're all sown pretty densely. Like, most of them are recommending 2 to 4 seeds, but we found for our farm and our heat that we actually need to seed them about twice as dense. So everything from kale to lettuce to beets, whatever, we're doing about somewhere between 6, 8, 10 seeds per cell. And then what we do is we cover it with vermiculite. And vermiculite is kind of like, you can think of it as like a mulch. And it's basically a really, really light, covering material that kind of keeps that water in and gives it a layer of insulation on that seed, so that even if the top of your soil dries out, your seed isn't going to be drying out. So one of the things that we've really noticed on this farm, and it's really hot here in San Diego in Blossom Valley, is the watering requirements for these trays. So a lot of people, they want to do like a 1 or 2 over and they think it's done, but in reality this soil mix that we're using is super, super water absorbent, and it takes a whole lot of water to soak it all the way through. So when we're watering, we want to make sure that the reservoir is wet or has water in it. We can always dump the reservoir out if there's too much water, but we want to at least see that there's moisture down in there. That means that we've watered all the way through, because you don't want to just water the top of the soil. You need to make sure that you're watering all the way through, especially when you're in a hot climate. That watering requirement will decrease as we go into the fall and in the winter and the spring, but during the summertime we need to water these trays all the way through every single day. And so what we've done here is we've labeled the CSA for the week. We've got our lettuce for the week, and we've got our veg for the week. These will be lining up for these should be ready to harvest in 6 weeks. So that'll be 4 weeks in the tray, 2 weeks in the ground, harvest, and then get another cut of our lettuce, and we'll crop out all the veg. So we've got a continual succession each week, and each week we do 2 of these trays, 1 of veg, 1 of lettuce, and that will make sure that we have a continual supply throughout the season. If you like this video, so check us out on Instagram, and check out our website, lindforcefarms.com.